What's going on, guys? It's me, Jason. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching Tyree Wilson, the edge rusher out of Texas Tech, the Texas A&M transfer. Tyree Wilson is coming off of a season where he had 61 total tackles, 14 for loss, and 7 sacks. Finished his college career with 17 sacks and 32 tackles for loss. 2 productive seasons actually at Texas Tech back-to-back with 13.5 tackles for loss and then 14 in 2022 as well. Solid player. Does a really good job against the run, in my opinion. Little stiff in terms of rushing the passer, but he does have long arms, which allows him to extend that arm to a long arm rush to really get his leverage against these tackles and these guards that he's rushing against. However, there are some bad things on tape with this particular player that we will talk about as well. But before we do, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, that subscribe button, notification bell. That's why I do appreciate it. Let's get into the video. Alrighty, so throughout the video, Tyree Wilson is going to be number 19 as he is on the right-hand side of your screen. So he does a solid job here of crashing down, reading and diagnosing the run, and being strong on the tackle to completely destroy this back here. Way to avoid that tackle, crash down, wrap up. You know, solid rep against the run. I can't really ask for much else. That's a good play. All right, we'll watch him again up top here, where he's going to shed the block of the tight end. He's going to get that head around. Look how his head whips around. You see that? See how it whips back? He understands that the play is still coming to my side, so I need to get back, make that tackle, right? I don't need the hand fight with this tight end anymore. I need to whip my head around, get back, wrap up, make the tackle, right? Now, this play, I want you to keep this play in mind when we get to the bad, because we're going to run into a similar play where he does the bad thing. He does the wrong thing. But this is a very good rep here. That awareness to realize, oh, crap, I got to get back into my gap to shut down that run. Solid play. Second play against the run here where he's going to crash down violently. And that's the word I probably use when I talk about the good plays is he's very violent when he gets his hands on you, right? It's no finesse. He's not soft. He does a very good job of reading the mesh point here. Right there, reads the mesh point. And he full speed crashes down on that back. Makes a tackle for loss. Again, as I said, I think one of his best traits is the ability to play the run. This play here is we're going to watch him rush the passer. We're actually going to watch him more about his hustle on this particular play here. So he's going to get blocked right there by the guard. He's going to shed that block, and he's going to go full pursuit to chase down that quarterback, to flush him out of the pocket, to force the incompletion, right? These are plays that are super important to me personally, because what are you doing when the play's not coming to your side? Are you just half-assing and you're not doing anything, or are you trying to make every single play on the field? And I think at certain times he does try to make every single play on the field. You can't really ask for much else from your edge rusher. There are some times when he doesn't. But on this particular play, he did, and, you know, no slander here. Very good hustle and pursuit backside there. This play here, violent as he crashes down in the run game. You know, again, the best part of his game. When he gets hands on these running backs, they're not going anywhere. You know, those backs that like to run through arm tackles and all that, not with this kid. He's going to wrap you up. He's going to go high, get you right around your shoulder pad, and he's going to pull you straight to the ground. There are no dirty yards. There's no fighting for extra yards. He's going to get you, pull you straight to the ground. I love it. And when you're playing the run like that, that's what you want to see. Next play here. Again, crashing down against the run. You know, they're going to leave him unblocked, actually. They're going to pull that tackle around. But because he's so fast, they can barely get the handoff, right? Before he crashes down, wraps up. You know, and on this particular play here, so we'll pause it for a second. You know, if he doesn't make this play, right? You know, if that back comes through this hole right here with the tackle pulling around and blocked here, who knows what this play looks like? That running back would still be running, right? But because he's so violent crashing down against the run, he prevents a bigger gain for the team. So solid rep here. This play here, you know, he is on the ground, but I put this in here because I wanted to show you all just his arm length, right? So he takes a step. He's going to extend that right arm, right here. That right arm is extended. But what happens is he loses his footing, and that's the only bad part about this play. But he extends that arm, makes it difficult for the tackle to get hands on him. And when you see that, you go, okay, you just lost your footing. That's a solid rep to extend that arm. So again, he's going to rush the passer here from the left side of your screen. Quarterback gets a solid run here, but it is a good rep here because what he does is he extends. We're running in slow motion here. We're going to watch it. Watch his arm come in on the screen here. He extends that arm. And so what happens is when you extend that arm like that, that lineman is going to try to lunge. So now that lineman has lunged, he's going to do a rip move and completely get out of the block. That's setting up your opponent. And this is what he does a very great job at, is hitting you with a move where it's like, oh, well, he's hit me with a long arm rush the last 6 times. He's going to hit me with another one. So you lunge and you overextend and he hits you with a rip move or a swim move and he's in the quarterback's lap. Those are plays that, that he does consistently on tape. And you really can't ask for much else. A diverse toolbox when it comes to rushing the passer, in my opinion. There he is right there again. Goes for that rip move there. Right here. Rip. Flushes the quarterback out. Quarterback has to scramble. Solid rep there. I probably, on this play here, as we'll run it one last time, I do love how his arm, if you look at his hand and his arm, he's going for that ball. You see that? I love that. This counts as a sack. If you hit that ball, that's a sack fumble. This is how you can affect the game as an edge rusher. Everybody's not going to be Von Miller off the edge and wrap up and sack the quarterback. No, just go for the swipe at times. Be the DeMarcus Ware who loves to go for the swipe. Knock the ball out of the quarterback's hands and things like that. Solid rep right there. Next play here. Here's Tyree Wilson. Almost gets an encroachment for jumping off sides. But again, solid rush here into the chest of the tackle. Sends the tackle back to the quarterback's lap. Helps force the incompletion, right? Hands inside. Rocks the tackle all the way back. You see that arm again? We just talked about it. See that right there? He's going to swipe. He's trying to get that ball. He's trying to affect the game in any way that he can. That's what you want to see. Now, the thing that did kind of concern me, though, is that when I see plays like this, you would think that, oh, this is a guy that forced a lot of fumbles in college, and he only had one, which I thought was a little, not alarming, but I thought it was more shocking than anything, because this is a guy that's very active with his hands, and he only had one forced fumble in college in 2022. So next play here we're going to run. Again, that power rushing up, bringing us that tackle. That tackle he oversets. Now that tackle has nothing. He has nowhere to go, right? This is an interesting rush, though, because he takes a step, as he goes to rush, right? Look at his right hand. He goes for the punch to the shoulder pad, but then comes back with this left hand to shove the other hand off of him from the tackle. So now the tackle has no hands. His hands aren't free at all. So really, he's just at the mercy of Tyree Wilson, and that's why he gets pushed back within 2 seconds, right? Again, strike, rocks him back, forces the incompletion. It's a very good play. Next play here we're going to watch as we're going to watch him rush the passer down here from the left side of the screen. There he is right there. So we'll run the play. Again, he is engaged. He doesn't really do a good job of shedding the block here, in my opinion, but he does a very good job of rocking that tackle back and getting pressure on the quarterback. I really can't ask for much else. Again, very, very, very solid rep there by Tyree Wilson. Next play here. He's going to turn that edge up there on the right-hand side. That speed around the edge. I love it. Slow it down for a second. Tackle goes. He overextends. He lunges. He's beat. Wilson goes, sheds, gets around, turns the corner. He didn't do enough of this consistently on tape, in my opinion, but this is a play where I see it. I'm like, okay, I can see why NFL teams will love to have him because of plays like this, where he does a good job, avoids those hands, he dips, but he loses his footing, and I think he's just a little sloppy at times. But that's a very solid rep there. Here he is again, rushing the passer to force the incompletion there. He's terrifying, right? To look down the barrel and to see him standing right in front of you, that's horrifying, right? And that speed is a very underrated aspect of his game, in my opinion. That quarterback, he thinks he's going to stand tall in the pocket. Wilson comes in, he rushes, that quarterback runs. He still gets hands on the quarterback to tackle him and force the incompletion. Solid rep there. This last play here we're going to watch is actually going to be him absolutely uh, obliterating the quarterback here. One of my favorite plays of his that I did watch. He's going to take a step inside. See that right there? Look how the guard gets whiplash almost. He completely gets rocked back, right? Inside, rocked back. You know, you love plays like that. Rock back. Now, this particular play right here, on this angle here, I want to see him swipe at that ball. Like we talked about earlier, he's swiping at the ball, trying to force fumbles. These are the plays right here where you need to swipe at the ball. I know hitting the quarterback is fun, you know, but if you swipe at this ball, swipe at that arm, you might force an incompletion or you might force a fumble. You know, everybody doesn't have to go for the big hit, as I said. Like, swipe at that ball. But the quarterback, he gets rid of the ball. They force an incompletion. It's a solid rep. Those are the good plays of Tyree Wilson. Now, there are some plays that are alarming. And we're going to talk about those right now. Alrighty, so we've talked about the good of Tyree Wilson. Let's talk about the bad, right? So the bad, Tyree Wilson has a lot of things on tape in terms of bad things that concern me because his bad isn't necessarily technique, or it's not technique. It's more so discipline. It's staying on your feet. Like that's not technique. It's not like you have bad hand usage. It's just stupid decisions, honestly. And I have a lot of questions. So we're going to run this play here as he's going to take this inside step here and miss that running back as he's right in front of him, by the way. Run the play one more time, then we'll slow it down. And I'll show you what I mean. So right here. So up top, here is Tyree Wilson. He's right here, right? Run the play here. You know, you're right here. Heads up with the running back. There's no attempt to make the tackle, right? Run the play again at full speed. He's heads up with them, and he just doesn't make the tackle. He decides not to wrap up and try to attempt to even make the tackle. Doesn't try to extend that arm, try to get that arm free. Doesn't do anything. He just realizes that I'm kind of trapped, so the play's over, and I'm not really going to do anything on the play. You know, I have questions about plays like that when it comes to him. So next play, he's going to take another inside step. He's going to guess again and guess incorrectly. Take an inside step, completely overrun the play. Has no gap discipline whatsoever on this particular play. And where does the running back run? Right through his gap. You know, that's discipline. Those are some questions that I just have where, you know, I don't think the play is, hey, just completely rush upfield and don't stay in your lane. That's not logical. And this is what you see a lot of on tape with this particular player. He will either shoot the gap and it'll be incorrect, or he won't shoot the gap when it's time to shoot the gap. It's inconsistencies on tape, you know, with this player here. As we will get to the next play here, and there he is right there, number 19 again. And we're going to break this play down as we run it again here. We're going to talk about it for a second. So run the play back here for a second. We're running in slow-mo here. So a couple things here. So on this particular play, this is where you probably want to shoot because this side is sealed off, right? So you're not going to completely shed this block. So as we run the play here, run it back here. Right here, he needs to take a stronger inside step and immediately shoot that gap to get to the back. And he doesn't. He just kind of reads and hesitates, and then he tries to chase down backside with very little effort. And it's just plays like this where it's like, you know, the game records in the NFL, they shoot that, right? They attempt to make the play where he tries to just stack and try to follow the defensive tackle. And that's not what you're supposed to do. So now the defensive tackle is the one chasing the running back, and you're all the way on the backside of the field. How is this top defensive end tape? I don't get it. He's one of the more frustrating players that I've watched because it's just like when he doesn't think he can make the play, he just half-asses and doesn't provide any effort on the particular play. And you guys know me. When I talked about Lucas Van Ness, Will Anderson, those guys that we talked about, backside pursuit is key because you can chase down backs where this guy here, he's not attempting to. And that's the frustrating part about his game. So this next play here, he's up top here. He's going to incorrectly guess, the mesh point here between the quarterback and the running back. that has no gap discipline whatsoever again, and the quarterback keeps, he's actually in a good position here, right? I think he might be a little too high for me personally as far as his stance here, but he's in a good position to make the correct read. He doesn't. He guesses. He completely misses on the read. Quarterback runs right through his gap, gets a solid gain for his team. Gap discipline is the thing that just stands out on tape with this particular player. You have to have discipline because Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, they're going to keep this, right? And you got to know when they're going to keep it. And I think at times he struggles with that. So this play here, Tyree Wilson is actually going to be right here. And this play here is probably one of the more frustrating plays because this play here exposed a lot of questions about him that I had personally. So first, this blocker here that's blocking him, that's not an offensive lineman. That's a tight end. The tight end not only blocks him, he throws him to the – this is a 271-pound defensive end. He's getting launched to the ground by a tight end. That's a big no-no for me personally, right? That right there. See, you have to completely destroy that tight end if you're the dominant edge rusher, right? Get rid of that tight end, that hand fighting right there. You have the tight end playing high. You have the leverage. And you just get thrown to the ground. It's plays like that where there is no explanation for you to get blocked and thrown to the ground by a tight end. Getting blocked by a tight end, it happens. Getting tossed to the ground should never happen. Next play. Tyree Wilson's up there again. Guess where he ends up? Back on the ground. Back on the ground. This is why he's so frustrating because as you watch him rush, look how he gets inside with his hands. He rocks that tackle back, and then he just loses his leverage and gets thrown to the ground. That's why he's such a frustrating player to watch at times. Next play here. He's right there, number 19, thrown to the ground again. You know, these are different games where he's just getting thrown to the ground. He takes a solid inside step with that right foot, gets inside of the tackle, rushes up the field, he falls. I don't have an explanation, right? He's down on the ground here. Again, inside, down on the ground. You know, we're running in slow-mo here. He's going to take an inside step, go against that tackle. That tackle, no technique, no pass. He just launches him to the ground. What do we do with that? You're 271 pounds and you're on the ground more than the football. Like, we have more plays here. There he is right there, number 19, to the ground again. Just destroyed. Like, I don't have an explanation as to why a guy this big and this strong and this powerful, when you watch him rush the passer, you watch him play the run at times, he's phenomenal. And then there are plays like this where they're horrendous. Ground. I have no explanation. Again, inside rush there, he's on the ground. And on this play here, he has no type of hand usage. He goes in with that right shoulder, tries to put that shoulder into the chest of the defensive tackle or into the offensive guard, and the guard just pulls him down because there's no hand usage. There's no hand fighting. You have no hands on him, so all he says, well, I just pull your shoulder pad and get you to the ground. That's sloppy play. That's sloppy play from somebody that's mocked as one of the best defensive ends in the class, right? Next play here. Here is Tyree Wilson up there, and he's on the ground again. Watch it again. Buried into the turf. You know, these are all different games, different plays. Again, rushes. It's like he gives up, right? Like this isn't slipping, right? We'll watch the play here. He rushes. He does a solid rush, and he just falls. There's no effort. There's no fight to try to get the tackle off of you. He just kind of lays there. He just lays there. You know, and even when he falls, we'll watch the play here as he falls. Right there, look at the angle of his arm. He has a solid long arm rush. This is why he's such a tempting prospect. Those are long arms. That tackle has no hands on him, and he somehow falls down. I don't know, right? All I know is he does good things on tape, but the bad things are terrifying for somebody that is being mocked as high as 5. It's terrifying. And for me, I wouldn't take him personally because getting washed out of a play is different from this play right here where now I'm questioning your work ethic here. Yeah, I just give up. I'll go down. And then there's no effort. He's just laying there. He's, oh, well, the play's over. He's on top of me. You know, he's not trying to fight or anything. When we have to question effort of a player, I think that's a player you might want to steer away from, in my opinion. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, that subscribe button, notification bells. I do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that link in the description for the Twitter as well, as I've been going back and forth with some of y'all on Twitter about these prospects, retweeting some of your stuff. You guys have some really cool breakdowns as well. So let's all keep growing. Let's all keep trying to get to the top. I really appreciate the support, though. Y'all be good.